the big picture is we're retelling the story of two people on this day in November in 2018 when this devastating fire came through Paradise, California. That morning they thought was just going to be a regular fire like come through there every month and would be put out and people just went about their day. This one was different. And on that day, there was a particular guy, Kevin McConaughey, was driving a bus, was trying to get home and got the call. Said that we got kids stranded over at this school. You're near there. Can you go pick them up? He chose to take the call and chose to say, yes, I'll go pick up the kids. That decision changed his entire life, and that decision is a big reason why we're telling the story on film now. He picked up those kids, and also on board was a teacher, Mary Ludwig. And this is a story about their 6-hour journey to get out and survive.
It's about survival and family and community and what happens to all of us when we are tested and when life hinges on a couple seconds you never see coming. And what you do in those seconds determines everything from then on, and you won't know what you're going to do until you're there. The Paradise Fire was a couple seconds no one saw coming. And what Kevin McConaughey and Mary Ludwig did, in particular with these 22 kids, and what they did in those seconds determined everything from then on, and they wouldn't know what they were going to do until that moment. That same story applies to every single person in Paradise. Both people who lost their lives in the fire trying to save the lives of their families and people who survived the fire and were able to escape and get their families out. Life hinged on a couple seconds none of us saw coming. And the fact that we've made a movie that gives you a tiny sense of what that must have felt like and how people respond and act in these moments of tremendous crisis, and the heroism of every human being, everyday people, teachers, bus drivers, firefighters, nurses, doctors, is a real testament to the human spirit.
I talked to Mary a lot about, how she kept these children, or tried to keep these children calm. And she was deeply concerned with their mental state in a situation that was terrifying to anybody. Imagine children from kindergarten to 5th grade without their parents on a bus in the middle of a fire. I can only imagine that she had all of her own fears and triggers happening in that moment, and yet she had to kind of be a rock and a presence to help these kids feel safe and calm, even in the face of some really terrifying things. And so I think her experience as a teacher for 20-something years helped her really try to engage those children in a way that maybe minimized some of that fear, reduced some of the, trauma that surely it caused for them. Also, I think that they had to discover new skills. I mean, they had to kind of realize that they were on their own and, how are we going to make it out? And there's a moment inspired by real life, which is that Mary had to get out of the bus and find a way to get water for these kids and use her best judgment for when kind of enough was enough and the kids couldn't take it anymore and they needed water, and she found the courage to go out and get it.
Let me go. I can do it. 2 minutes. I'll be right back. I can do it. I can do it.
Her character is very much about order and protocol and what are the rules and follow the map and follow the plan. And she, as a teacher, is very prepared. That person is very prepared. America Ferrera is very prepared, thankfully, yes. And I think, where we butt heads, or where we eventually come together with attacking a crisis in two different ways, is my character is not by the book. Much more gonna wing it, gonna react to the circumstances that I'm given. I want to go off book much quicker than she does, and that may be more dangerous, but I also believe that it's our best way out. Don't be relying on the rule book. The rules are out the window by this point. This is a special circumstance. And so America brings a very solid base to that as a teacher, as a person who this is how we should go about it. We should trust the situation and how it's planned out, that the evacuation routes will be the ones we should take, and let's just follow the rules and get out of this and stay calm. So she's our teacher, and she's our teacher in this, that has the school book, that has the game plan, that wants to follow those rules. And I think I noticed that when I first talked to America when we met on a Zoom. The preparation, very clear protocol. This is how it should go, and that's right on for the role.
Get down, get down! We're going through the fire!
My job as a producer was to make a real connection with Kevin and Mary, both as a producer, but of course as a human. That all I want to do is tell the story with integrity, truth, emotional connection, respect for courage under intense pressure, and that they would trust me.
Human level for me, it's a father-son story. It's a story about unfinished business, a story about second chances, and you get them, you don't take them, or you don't get them at all, or you get them and you take them. And it's not always up to us whether we have time to take our second chances. And hopefully out of this, we'll all be reminded that we have some second chances in our own life that are worth taking. Don't wait around too long. Take them now.